Welcome to Global Economic Brief, where we uncover the financial truths that the mainstream media often ignores or actively hides from you. Today, we are discussing a silent revolution happening in the global markets, specifically centered around the most undervalued asset in history. There is a coordinated effort involving 50 different nations that are quietly accumulating massive reserves of physical silver right this moment. This movement is not just international. It has reached the highest levels of the American legislative system and domestic state policy. Prominent figures like J.D. Vance are now signaling a shift that could redefine how we view money and sovereign debt forever. While paper currency loses its purchasing power every single day, physical metals are regaining their historical status as true constitutional money. The data we are about to present exposes a critical flaw in the current fiat monetary system that everyone must understand. Central banks and smart money investors are moving their liquidity out of digital assets and into tangible resources like silver bullion. This information comes directly from Department of State records and legislative filings that have largely gone unnoticed by the general public. Specific states across America are passing laws to recognize gold and silver as legal tender, bypassing the Federal Reserve completely. This legal framework allows citizens to use gold and silver for transactions, protecting them from the devaluing nature of the dollar. Imagine a local economy where your money actually retains its value over time instead of shrinking due to government-induced inflation. Market analysts are predicting a violent repricing of silver as these state laws begin to take full effect across the country. However, the supply of physical silver is facing a critical bottleneck that could trigger a massive shortage in the near future. The green energy transition is devouring silver at an unprecedented rate, specifically for the production of photovoltaic solar panels globally. Electric vehicles and advanced electronics require massive amounts of silver, creating a demand that mining companies simply cannot keep up with. For the third consecutive year, the global silver market has recorded a structural deficit, eating into above-ground stockpiles very rapidly. Vaults in London and New York are reporting historically low inventory levels, signaling that the physical squeeze is already underway. Yet the paper price on the COMEX remains suppressed, creating a massive disconnect between the spot price and physical reality. This price suppression allows large institutions to accumulate physical metal at a discount before the inevitable price explosion occurs globally. Politicians like Vance understand that when the paper derivatives market fails, only those holding physical assets will remain standing. The return to sound money is not a new idea. It is a return to the foundational principles of the Constitution. History has shown us repeatedly that fiat currencies eventually return to their intrinsic value of zero without proper backing. We are currently living through the final stages of a debt supercycle that can only be resolved through a currency reset. The BRICS nations are actively buying gold and silver to back a new currency that challenges the dominance of the dollar. China alone has been importing silver at a record pace to support its massive solar energy, manufacturing, and industrial dominance. India recently purchased more silver in a single month than many European countries produce in an entire year of mining. Unlike gold, which is hoarded, silver is consumed by industry, meaning once it is used, it is often gone forever. Recycling silver from electronics is expensive and inefficient, meaning we cannot rely on scrap metal to fill the supply gap. The Federal Reserve continues to print trillions of dollars, diluting your savings while the amount of physical silver remains finite. For the average family, holding silver offers a hedge against the inflation that is making groceries and housing unaffordable today. When adjusted for real inflation, silver is currently one of the cheapest assets on the planet relative to other commodities. The movement to restore sound money is spreading state by state, creating a firewall against federal monetary mismanagement and corruption. Legislators are realizing that they must protect their state pension funds and treasuries from the volatility of the US dollar. The defense industry also relies heavily on silver for guidance systems, making it a strategic metal of national security importance. Governments rarely advertise their strategic purchases because they do not want to trigger a panic buying frenzy among the public. The gold-to-silver ratio is currently at levels that Historica signal a massive rally for silver is just ahead. Smart investors have always used silver accumulation as a way to profit during times of extreme economic distress and uncertainty. Every smartphone, computer, and modern appliance in your home contains silver, making it indispensable to our modern way of life. Easy to access silver deposits are largely depleted, meaning miners must dig deeper and spend more to extract the same amount. Rising energy costs are making it unprofitable for many mines to operate, further constraining the global supply of new silver. Financial institutions have a vested interest in keeping you in the dark about the fragility of the paper currency system. When the banking system wobbles, counterparty risk becomes the biggest threat to your wealth, except for assets you physically hold. Physical silver has zero counterparty risk. It does not rely on a bank, a government, or the internet to exist. Texas has already built its own bullion depository to bring its gold home, setting a precedent for other states to follow. The political will to challenge the Federal Reserve's monopoly on money is growing stronger with every new election cycle. Many view silver as the ultimate opt-out mechanism against the coming implementation of central bank digital currencies and surveillance. Grassroots movements are educating the public about the dangers of fiat currency and the stability offered by precious metals. Silver is the only commodity that is still trading well below its all-time high price from over 40 years ago. This anomaly creates a coiled spring effect, where the price is mathematically destined to snap back to its fair value. As the world mandates a shift to renewable energy, the industrial demand for silver effectively puts a floor under its price. Beyond energy, silver is critical in medicine for its antimicrobial properties, adding yet another layer of inelastic demand. The coalition of 50 nations buying silver understands that he who holds the gold and silver makes the rules. Support for these initiatives crosses party lines because inflation and economic instability affect every single voter, regardless of ideology. Individuals are taking matters into their own hands, becoming their own central banks by securing physical assets at home. We are heading into an economic storm, and history suggests that precious metals are the only proven lifeboats available. The window of opportunity to acquire silver at these suppressed prices is closing rapidly as supply shortages become public knowledge. During the last financial crisis, bullion dealers ran out of stock instantly, leaving procrastinators with nothing but worthless paper money. Silver is not just a relic of the past, it is the most essential strategic metal for the technology of the future. While real estate and stocks are in a massive bubble, silver remains one of the few undervalued assets left to buy. Positioning yourself in silver today could be the decision that secures your family's financial destiny for the next generation. The legal tender laws in states like Wyoming are the blueprint for a decentralized monetary system that empowers the people. A shortage in silver could trigger a collapse in the derivatives market, exposing the fraudulent nature of paper silver contracts. Refineries are already reporting delays in sourcing 1,000-ounce bars, which are the standard for industrial and investment delivery. Global capital is beginning to rotate out of government bonds and into hard assets, a trend that will accelerate inflation. Watch closely for upcoming bills that propose removing capital gains taxes on gold and silver, a massive game changer. If silver becomes transactional currency again, it effectively nullifies the ability of the state to tax inflation as profit. The public awakening is happening slowly, but once the masses rush for the exit, the door will be too small. In the end, the market always seeks truth, and silver is the ultimate truth in a world of financial lies. Geologists confirm that peak silver production has likely already passed, meaning we will never see such abundance again. Major producing nations like Mexico and Peru are facing political instability and lower ore grades, threatening future global supply. Institutional investors are quietly building positions in physical trusts, preparing for the moment the price suppression finally breaks. Those who hold silver will have the purchasing power to thrive, while those holding fiat currency will struggle to survive. Silver represents financial freedom and independence from a system that is designed to confiscate your wealth through inflation. We are looking at a scenario where triple-digit silver prices could become the new normal sooner than anyone expects. This is about leaving a legacy of real value for your children, not just numbers on a bank screen. As humanity pushes further into space,
the demand for silver in aerospace engineering will create yet another supply shock. New discoveries in nanotechnology are finding uses for silver that we haven't even begun to factor into demand models. The 50 nations coordinating their purchases are not acting on a whim, they are preparing for a new world order. Leaders who advocate for sound money are positioning themselves on the right side of history and economic reality. You have the opportunity right now to build a shield around your finances before the tidal wave of inflation hits. Do not wait for the news to tell you it is time to buy, because by then it will be too late. From industrial shortages to legislative changes, every indicator is flashing red, telling us that the era of cheap silver ends. A new dawn for precious metals is upon us, driven by undeniable fundamentals and a global shift away from fiat. We encourage you to do your own research, read the state laws, and look at the supply data yourself. If you found value in this deep dive analysis, please subscribe and turn on notifications for more urgent economic updates. Thank you for watching Global Economic Brief. Prepare your portfolio, stay informed, and we will see you in the next video.